What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all some Instagram stories that Melody Cherie shared on her IG today. And I definitely think that she is speaking to Mr. Carlos King. And then I also want to talk about the TikTok series that has gone viral, Who the F Did I Marry? All right, so now before we get into the deets, I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video. Even if you were to hit the dislike button, either one of those work the same, meaning that YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy discussing the various topics surrounding love and marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would love to have you. All right. And of course, everything that I'm saying here is alleged in my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these Instagram posts are allowed. All right. So I have like 5 Instagram stories of melodies that I want to get into and just give my commentary, and especially why I think they are about Carlos. So a melody says, hashtag wonderful Wednesday, winning even when they keep trying to put you in a position to lose. And when I read that, I thought of Carlos and just like, you know, allowing the Scott's brother that allegedly has meddled with Miss Van, all the way to allowing Martell to continue to film after the alleged revenge P accusations, and even after Carson Blue corroborated what Melody told us in August of 2022. It just seems like Melody is always put in a position that's not always the safest, when filming for the hit show Love and Marriage Huntsville. And Melody Cherie says, keep the same energy, remain silent. So I feel like Melody is not only giving us some great advice that we can use on our jobs, but I feel like she is also counseling herself, like just remain pleasant and professional, like you've been all these years since you were filming for season 1. Remain silent. Do not, go and check him like how you really want to. Just continue to lay low as you plan out your next move, as you make decisions. Should I speak up or should I remain silent? If so, if I speak up, who do I go to? At OWN or whatever the next move will be. She's saying to keep calm. Don't blow your top like you want to. Keep the same energy that you've had. Remain professional. Remain calm, cool-headed. Cool heads prevail. And remain silent. So I definitely think that that's about Carlos, especially after he opened his mouth last night on he and Dr. Heavenly's YouTube live, where they recap the latest episode of Married to Medicine. And, they do that most Monday nights. If not, they do it on a Tuesday night if one of them is busy on Monday. So after he spoke out the way that he did, Melody is saying, keep the same energy, remain consistent with treating him with respect and professionalism, and remain silent. And then Melody says, thank you, God, for showing truth, showing his true colors. When he was talking last night about, he's never called anyone's job on anyone. He's never called the police. And he said that he has never tried to harm anyone's channels with the same energy that they've done allegedly with trying to call people's jobs. And then he said something like, and catch that tea. So she's saying, thank you, God, for showing the truth. Because he also said that if any of his raindrops did anything like that, and then his voice kind of trailed off, so I believe that Melody is appreciative that those words did come out, like out of the heart, the mouth speaketh, and she was able to hear that. Then Melody says, did y'all catch my live today with Sharnita's World? It appears this Friday on Nubian Television. So be sure to check it out on nubiantv.net. create your accounts if you have not already done so that you can check out Sharnita's World. I was working while they went live. They did like a midday live. I had it up on my phone, but I was definitely engaged with my work, so I could not fully engage with the live like I would have wanted to. But Melody says, it feels great being in the business of pulling families together and not tearing them apart. Amen. So when I read this post, I felt like it was confirmation that the previous post that I showed you, I said, oh, I know these are about Carlos King. So it feels great being in the business of pulling families together and not tearing them apart. Now, here's my opinion on why this post is so significant. So we all know that Melody Cherie owns the production company Tilted Crowns with her lovely manager, Dawn Michelle. So they are producing content, producing TV shows like Sharnita's World. Similarly, Carlos King owns Kingdom Reign Entertainment, where he produces TV shows. So she's saying, you know, I am doing the same exact executive producing work, but I am pulling families together, not tearing them apart. And certainly my opinion is just my opinion. It does not reflect that of Melody Cherie, because still when I give my opinion pieces on my channel, I don't want Melody to get in any trouble with Carlos King. I don't want my content to be the reason for any sort of negative energy between the two. So certainly this is my opinion. But that is what this post spoke to me. They are literally colleagues in the same industry. Melody is also talent. She's on camera talent, but she also owns a production company. So she is executive producing as well. And she is saying that it feels great being in the business of pulling families together and not tearing them apart. Now, some critics may say, well, Carlos King did not tear the Holt family apart. Certainly, Carlos King did not do that. We all know that Martell Holt, he let his other head lead him when he decided to have an affair with someone who is unprofessional and very triggering and disrespectful. And he lost his family. And now the kids get shuffled between two homes every other week, unfortunately. But what she is speaking of, it doesn't even have to be biological family. It could be friendship. It could be people being so tempted and exposed to more income via reality TV that they are willing to gang up on one person. They are willing to cape for Martell and say that he's a good guy, just for the sake of being on reality TV or pleasing production. So I thought that this was definitely a significant post, and I wanted to share it with you all. And then Melody says, I'm going to take down my fair use commentary banner for a moment. She says, seems like we are the topic of everybody's conversation. So on Nubian TV, they're going to have a Millimeter special. It will be a 3-part series only on Nubian, and it will be coming this spring. If you're interested, email support@millimeters.com. Give your full legal name, social media account name, and your history as a Millimeter. Only 10 people will be selected. Then you can be a part of this 3-part series. So she says, seems like we are the topic of everybody's conversation. So that totally is about Carlos and Dr. Heavenly's conversation last night during their YouTube live, where they talked about people allegedly calling people's jobs. I believe that they're referring to Stormy, and when people were talking about calling Walmart and Target, or when people were, letting local government know about the alleged casino that Tisha and Marceau, it was going to be like a casino night that they were going to have. but people did call that in, I guess, as them not allegedly perhaps getting the right permissions to do so. Allegedly, I believe that's how that went. They even talked about that during the first half of season 6 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So when he was trying to say that, some people go too far, and he listed those examples, and he said if the Raindrops did that, he would almost, he was insinuating like he would say something. I believe that that is why, Melody is putting together a 3-part series to celebrate the millimeters. So I think that that is very cool. And, I can't wait to see the finished product. So you all let me know in the comments, what do you all think about these IG posts? Do you think that she's talking about Carlos King or someone else? And I wonder, what does the near future hold with their working relationship? I never want to see folks fall out, but sometimes it's for your good, it's for your better. All things work together for our good, so you have to believe that. And I know that Melody is not a fearful person, and so she knows that she's loved and supported, so she has that strength to do what she has to do and to speak up for herself, and that is very important. Well, thank you all so much for checking out this portion of the video. I want to quickly talk about Who the F Did I Marry? A TikTok series that has gone viral. Listen, this image says part 33. It is like 50 parts. It took me 2 days to watch it. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted that on my IG stories. It took me 2 days. So I was watching it last night after I created the video about Carlos and Dr. Heavenly. I was watching it while I fixed dinner, cleaned up the kitchen. I was watching it, in between me working today. And oh my gosh, it's low key. I had a little anxiety because it feels like you're never going to finish it. It is 7.5 hours. Um, and it is on some YouTube channels if you wanted to watch it. Oh my gosh. So, in a nutshell, she meets this guy on Facebook dating. They also had dating profiles on Hinged. If you've ever used the dating app Hinged, and they were a match there. So, they met online in early March of 2020. We all know what happened by mid-March 2020. The entire country shut down. These two people, Tisa Risa, or Risa Tisa is her TikTok name, and she calls her ex-husband Legion. They decided that they would move in together in her house for the Carnival 19 quarantine. So they were each other's quarantine boos. And they had only known each other 2 weeks when they decided to move in together. That was huge mistake number one. You let someone move into your home, you don't even know them. They were intimate. She got pregnant. She must have been pregnant in April. She found out in May. The baby was due in January. Unfortunately, she miscarried in the summer of 2020. I believe it was June when she miscarried. During this time, he was saying, let's buy a house. They're looking at houses in the $700,000 range. He showed her what appeared to be a valid pre-approval letter, and they were wasting realtors' times. As many realtors as I kept up with, I believe they went through 3. And the first house where he was using a pre-approval letter, it was a huge house. She liked it. It had an unfinished basement. Now, keep in mind, they are the buyers. They actually made an offer where they stipulated that they wanted the basement finished. And I'm watching this Who the F Did I Marry? And I'm like, no seller is going to accept that offer and agree to finish a basement. You mean add flooring and do a huge project? That is someone, a homeowner, that's going to stay in the house and enjoy that finished basement. Why would they take out that much time to do it? So it spoke to Risa Tisa and Legion's and experience with, I could tell they did not work in the real estate industry and they would have been first time home buyers. I'm surprised that their realtor didn't try to school them, but I get it. Some salespeople, they don't want to tell folks what they want to hear because then they think they're going to lose the business. But as I knew what happened, the sellers rejected their offer, and their reasoning was they did not want to finish the basement. Duh. So then after that, the ex-husband is pretending like he has that kind of cash liquid in a bank account, an offshore account. Let me say that. An offshore account, several $100,000. He told her that he used to play arena football and that he graduated from a college in California. All of that turned out to be a lie. She actually, after letting him move in, after getting pregnant, after marrying him, she decided to do background checks. And she saw the states that he lived in. It included Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Georgia, no California in sight. She called the university in California. They had no records of him. When she asked him, why is it that your school says you did not attend? He says that his dad paid money for him to be a quote unquote private citizen, so there's no record of him. Then even Risa Tisa had the smarts to say, but you said you were an athlete. You mean to tell me that you played football for the school and there's no record of it? Like, Negro. It was just insane. Allegedly, his biological family, they won't F with him because they said he's always just told lies since he was a kid. He told her that he had sisters, at least two. He has no sisters, just two brothers. One of them is a twin. She never heard of a twin. This guy also told Risa Tisa that he worked for a condiments company. He had gotten promoted to VP. And it turns out that his twin is married with kids and works a corporate job and is VP. Isn't that strange? So anyway, back to the house situation. So they are wasting realtors' times looking at houses. They move on to another realtor, pretending that they're going to do a cash offer. Well, guess what? If you offer cash, a seller is going to want to see proof. They want to see a current statement with the balance that shows that they have enough that they can withdraw to pay cash for the house. And they're going to want to see terms to make sure that you have the authority to withdraw that money now to pay cash for a house. This guy refused to provide his bank statements. And that second realtor was angry and did not work with them again. So then they decide to get marriage counseling. They got married and they were having problems. According to her, he was kind of like acting jealous if he ever saw her talking to someone, that was of a male. And then, he wanted them to combine bank accounts, like checking accounts, but he would not show her the bank account that allegedly has the several $100,000. She later learned through doing reverse Google image searches that those checking account statement images that he showed her, he had gotten from Google Images. What in the world? I didn't even know that you could just pull up images of a bank account statement. That is crazy. My mind doesn't even go in that direction. So anyway, when she realized that he wouldn't show her all of his money, they decided to go to marital counseling. And the couple that was counseling them actually told them, we don't think you all will make it to January, meaning January 2022 to be a full year of marriage. So they got married in January 2021. They met in March of 2020 online. 2 weeks later, mid-March of 2020, they moved in together, was pregnant in April, lost the baby in June, and they had gotten married in January 2021. Super duper fast. So, she was getting tired of getting disappointed with not being able to get a house. And she said, I do not want a house. Then he was also promising to buy her a car. He would have her test driving all these luxury cars, wanted to buy her a BMW. He was supposed to, like, I guess, put a down payment on it or something of some sorts. The financing did not go through, and she was disappointed again. And she feels like he purposely, would gas her up thinking that he was going to get her an expensive house, an expensive car, to do neither one of those. Risa Tisa also talked about God constantly. She reminded me of Shirley Strawberry from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, how Shirley talks about God constantly during her jail calls with Ernesto. Just in my opinion, I do feel like some women, they use God as an excuse for keeping their heads in the clouds. And then once they run into hardship that was extremely avoidable, they'll tell themselves things like, well, this is a part of my test and I'm going to come out, pure as gold, and he's doing this for me, not to me, when really you have to, like, you work your faith and reality all together. You work your faith and use your intellect all together. Talking to a guy online 2 weeks, that's too soon to let him move in and know where you live. Then 10 months later, you marry him. No. And then he won't show you his savings account balance, but allegedly he can pay cash for a house, 700,000. Like, at what point do you use the brain that God blessed you with? He made us complete. We do need him, of course, but he also made us very functional so we can function on a high level, that abundant life, right? He don't want you to be a dummy. And I know that you may have that desire to be married and have companionship and have sex without guilt and have a family, but you still cannot be desperate about it and you cannot rush. And I feel like this young lady, she definitely rushed, and I just feel like she wasn't always using her brain every step of the way. And then she was definitely ignoring her intuition, because she would say that there were times where, like, she just wasn't at peace, like things didn't sit well with her, and she ignored the red flags. And that is what therapists would call self-betrayal. When deep down somebody is disrespecting you, deep down that guy is playing you, and you ignore, you are betraying yourself. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm worth it. If I have to kick it by myself, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to let anybody disrespect me. If you, like, ignore that type of mindset, that is self-betrayal. And that is what she did. And it gets really, really deep. Law enforcement had to be involved. Oh my gosh, she found out his real job, and it's crazy. But if you have 7.5 hours, order some food. You can watch it while you do your laundry, while you clean up the kitchen, while you do your taxes, whatever you got to do, to get through it. But that is the gist of it. Oh my gosh, it'll just make you be happily single, okay? But thank you for watching this entire video. I love y'all down. Please hit the like button on this video. It is a free way of supporting the channel. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. We have made it through the majority of the work week, only a couple days left. If you are watching this and you are retired, good for you. Every day is a Saturday. We're going to have a great Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your evening and take good care. Bye.